Hi, everyone. What's today? Wednesday, always Wednesday. I'm so excited to be live with you guys today to talk about one of my favorite topics related to sleep. Because if you are like me, it wasn't so much my body that wasn't letting me sleep. It was the fact that my kids weren't sleeping. So I'm going to give everybody a minute to jump on live. So if you're listening to the recording, hey, Ashley. If you're listening to the recording, then just fast forward a little bit. I'm going to pull up my live screen to make sure. I'm going to give you guys some really awesome tips. And ironically, Ashley just made me think of this. If you don't have kids, but if you have animals that wake you up in the middle of the night, this is actually going to have some really good solutions for you to apply to your animals. And we're so lucky that doTERRA feels very strongly about getting the right information out there about using oils for animals because they're coming up with a pet advisory board. And I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more information coming from doTERRA about how to use oils in pets more safely. So we'll get started. I am live here. So hey, say hi, because you guys, whoever jumps on live gets entered into the free drawing for a free oil giveaway today. So let me know that you're here if you jump on live, even if I'm knee deep in the content. So I titled this Help Get My Kid to Sleep So I Can Sleep. And this is week 4, the last week in our series of sleep solutions. So I hope you've learned a lot. For those of you guys that are suffering with problems for your kids from sleep, I hope this will help. So let's just talk first about how we use oils in our children for sleep. So let's remember, while oils are great to use internally for adults for sleep, this is not necessarily the solution we want to use in our kids. We really only want to use topical and aromatic use of oils for children. So without a doubt, if you don't have a diffuser in your child's room, you definitely will want that. And the great news is that in December, for the holiday products, there's going to be a cute little diffuser coming out that has an elephant. It looks like an elephant with a little spout. Excuse me, last year they had one that was a whale, and my kids absolutely loved it. So get something fun and cute that they can be a part of. You really want to involve them in the process. Let them fill up their diffusers at night. Let them have some control if they're old enough. I would say 3 and up, to make a choice about what type of oils they want to use in their diffuser. And we're going to talk about oils to choose from. And then topical application is always, always, always great for kids. It sort of includes that necessary element of touch at the end of the day when we wind down. In our house, it usually includes massage of the feet, massage of the spine. And so touch is such an important thing to incorporate with our children when we're winding them down for bedtime. So just know, unless your kids are over the age of 10, we recommend not using internal. Okay, so let's talk about sleep safe oils for kids. And these oils are perfectly safe for babies as well. It's just all about how much you use, okay? So we're going to talk about singles and blends. Just know, for when I use the term babies, for babies, I'm basically meaning children that are under the age of 1, okay? And if I'm talking about just kids, then I'm assuming that they're a year and over. So some of the single oils that we love to use in kids and babies is a vetiver, lavender, frankincense, Roman chamomile, and now we're so excited to introduce magnolia as a single oil that's great for calming and relaxation. The blends that we use are Serenity, Peace, which comes in 2 different forms, right? The Peace Touch or the Peace bottle that you can put in the diffuser, and the Calmer blend. So let's just talk about the singles for a second, and I'm going to walk you through a routine that is great for kids. So for vetiver, for example, and I want you to remember this about the Serenity blend. So the Serenity blend, if you read the ingredients from top to bottom, the highest concentration of the oil is the first oil that's listed, okay? And then each oil that's subsequently listed means it's in decreasing concentrations. So if you are using, say, lavender or Serenity, and it's not really working for your baby or your child, I want you to step it up to vetiver, or maybe add a drop or 2 of vetiver in there. And for kids and babies, we just don't need to overload the diffuser, okay? So really anywhere from 2 to 6 drops is sufficient because our bedrooms are smaller unless the child has a really big bedroom. But I remember overloading our diffuser one night with Serenity with my kids, and it started to sort of bother their throats. So you don't want to overload the diffuser, okay? 2 to 6 drops is really sufficient. And when you're using vetiver, you really only need to add 1 drop. Now, a lesser known oil for kids in sleep is actually frankincense. So frankincense is known for its calming and sedating attributes, and it's also fantastic for its anti-catarrhal. So helps with cough, helps with mucus. So if you're dealing with some sort of upper respiratory infection in your child, I love to do a chest rub with Breathe, Copaiba, and frankincense. It's fantastic for sort of calming that cough, and it's a very calming, sedating oil. And an even lesser known oil that you guys might not be familiar with for using in kids is Roman chamomile. And we'll talk a lot about issues related to teething. I'm telling you right now that Copaiba on the gums, all you do is just rub your finger around the rim of the Copaiba bottle. You don't even use a full drop, and then rub your fingers on their gums. It's fantastic for teething. But lavender and Roman chamomile on the jaw are fantastic for that, along with frankincense and Copaiba. And they're a naturally calming oil, so they're going to help them sleep. Now, why we love our new magnolia oil is because it's a flower oil, but it's also has a very, very high linalool content, so much higher than even lavender. So magnolia is going to be a great addition, and it's so gentle and safe. It's a fantastic option for babies, and it comes in the Touch roller bottle. So this is going to be a really great option for you new moms out there. A lot of times for new moms, I didn't put this in here, but a wonderful one to diffuse for new babies is wild orange plus lavender, and then like a little bit of magnolia touch on the spine or the feet. Very safe, very wonderful to use in babies. Now, as we move into our blends, again, Serenity tends to be a blend that a lot of kids love. It's got some vanilla bean in it, so it has that sort of sweet smell, and children love it. But to me, it's lacking in vetiver, okay? So again, if your child is using Serenity and you're not seeing that much of a difference in sleep, step it up to vetiver, and you've got to step it up to that topical application. We're going to talk about that in a second. And don't be afraid to switch it out for Peace, because Peace is much heavier in the vetiver. It's a blend, right? So it has Roman chamomile, ylang ylang, lavender, vetiver, but it has a much heavy vetiver smell. So if Serenity is not working that well for you, don't be afraid to add 1 drop of vetiver or switch to the Peace blend. Now, we're so lucky that we have a new blend on the scene, diluted just for kids. It's called the Calmer. It's the Restful blend in the new kids kit. And yes, you're going to be able to buy them individually at some point. And I think that comes out October 1st. Now, you guys, why we're loving this, and my kids love this new blend. Love it, love it, love it. In fact, William took this one out of his book bag and put it by his bedside. So it has lavender, but it also has Canuga oil in it. Okay, so what's Canuga oil, right? So Canuga oil comes from actually a similar tree of ylang ylang. It comes from the flower, but instead of coming from the yellow flower, it actually comes from the green flower. And it's a much less floral blend. It's considered to be sort of like a cousin of ylang ylang. And so you sort of get this hint of ylang ylang, but it's not that overpowering floral. And then it also has Roman chamomile, right? Which is the one that we talked about was great for kids and babies. And it also has Buddha wood oil. So this is fantastic because it's a grounding oil along with some of those flowering oils in there. And it's known to be a sedative. It comes from a tree in Australia. It has strong anti-anxiety properties. So that Calmer blend for kids is a great one to use topically. And then you look at some of the other blends or singles for diffusing. So now let's talk about a real routine. So once I learned and got this down, you guys, my kids slept great. Routine is everything for them. So I just wanted to share with you what we do for our kids for sleep. These steps are so important. And then I'm going to give you a couple of my secret weapons. So I always, when we head upstairs to bed, we start the diffuser as soon as we enter their room. So we head into their bedroom, we go into their bathroom, and then start to give them their bath. But right as I'm doing that, I start the diffuser because I really want the room to be filled with the aroma of the oil. That's what's really the powerful part, okay? So you want to start that diffuser 30 minutes before. Hi, Will. Hi, Maria. Hi, Sydney. Hi, Lisa. Say hi to me if you guys are on live. So start that diffuser 30 minutes before bedtime. And remember, we're in that 2 to 6 drops range. Warm bath time is an absolute must. I recommend to people not to put oil straight in the bath water because it doesn't get dispersed. The oil just kind of sits on top of the water and it really doesn't get absorbed. So what I recommend and I like to do is I have a big mason jar full of Epsom salts. This is great for them because you guys, they're getting a little bit of magnesium absorption, which actually is a smooth muscle relaxant and it helps relax you, okay? And so I add just some coconut oil in there mixed with some lavender or serenity, and then I just shake those Epsom salts up, and whenever the kids get into the bath, we throw some in there, and that sort of helps disperse the oil. Lisa said, I wish someone would do that for me each night. Girl, I know, and I do it for myself sometimes. So I draw myself a bath and I take some of their bath salts because I don't have a bathtub in my master bath. I just have a shower. And so I go into my kids' bathroom and then I just throw some of their Epsom salts in there. The magnesium is so good for you to be absorbed. It helps relax you. And remember this too, you guys, when you enter into that bath time, everything should dial down, right? So my husband actually put a dimmer on the light in the bathroom. And so we turn it way down. So the lights are very low, right? So I'm already telling the brain, hey, the sun's going down, the light's going away. That helps the body reduce the cortisol levels. It helps trigger melatonin release. It helps get the body ready for bed, So that warm bath time routine is an absolute must. And so remember, you want to be starting that 30 minutes to an hour before their actual bedtime. So you have plenty of time and they don't get overly tired. Now, this is what we do after we get out of the bath. I use the doTERRA non-toxic lotion or the baby lotion, which I'm going to show you guys, with 1 or 2 drops of a single oil or a blend. So I usually have Serenity in their room or lavender. I just put a drop or 2 in there and I literally give them a rub down. Now, my son, he's 5. He's at the point where he doesn't want me rubbing it all over his body. My daughter loves it, but that's when I apply oils to his feet. So I do the topical application then after bath time. Now, I'm always taking some of those roller bottles and I'm actually rubbing it on their pillow or their bed sheets because I also want them to sort of get that aroma as they're laying there on their pillow. So that's just another simple trick, another way that you can add oils into their routine. Now, let's talk about my secret weapon of bath time. We already talked about the doTERRA non-toxic lotion. I love it and it's unscented. So you could add Roman chamomile to this, which ironically is really great for my daughter sometimes because she has a ton of bug bites and stuff like that over her legs. So adding a drop of lavender and a drop of Roman chamomile, it's also antibacterial and the lavender helps with healing of the tissues. It's very well studied for that. So this is a great time to apply to your toddlers, bumps and bruises, their legs. You're really helping them heal and it's antibacterial for those cuts and scrapes. So you're doing a couple things for them. You guys, the secret weapon of bath time for us is the Serenity Bath Bar. If you have not tried this, you have got to try it. Ekta Patel and I were just talking about this. She messaged me about it last week about how great it was. And it is got the Serenity blend in there and it's actually a bath bar. And I don't know why, but my kids flip and love it. And it's literally putting those oils all over their body and they're starting to get those smells even at bath time that sort of are calming, relaxing to the brain. It's working on those GABA receptors in the brain. Lavender is to sort of calm and bring down the anxiety from the day. So if you haven't tried the doTERRA Serenity Spa Bath Bar, I can tell you go ahead and get 2 because you're going to want to steal it from your kid's bath for yours. It's fantastic. So those are my secret weapons. And then for you mothers of little babies, these are really going to be your other secret weapons. You can use the Serenity Bath Bar on a baby, but doTERRA now has the baby line, and so they have a body wash with lavender. And then guess what, you guys? They have a lotion now that has lavender and Roman chamomile in it, and it's diluted and very safe for babies. So for those of you guys that have brand new babies or babies that are under a year old, these are just fantastic ready-made products for you to sort of make sure you're getting into that sleep routine. So again, it's all about routine. So if you missed it, go back to the routine, take a screenshot of it, start doing that routine with your baby. And if you're noticing, or your toddler, still some middle of the night wakenings, you probably need to step it up to vetiver or use a different type of oil. And you can try that diffuse, you can try it topically. You do have to be willing to do a little bit of experimentation. But to me, for kids and babies, the stronger one would be the vetiver and the peace oil. So serenity and lavender, and even frankincense are not cutting it, or Roman chamomile, then step up to that vetiver and the peace blend. Okay, so secret weapon for babies. So again, you guys, bedtime without oils for our kids is actually no fun, not exciting, and it doesn't really help us relax that much. We're so grateful for our oils because that really helps us get the brain ready for sleep. It helps them sleep deeper. And as they're inhaling those oils through the diffuser throughout the night, it really helps them stay asleep. So if you haven't added this into your children's routine, now would be a great time to do that so you can make sure that you get some sleep. So if you guys have any questions about the content that we have shared with you, please let us know. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. I hope you enjoyed this series. I am a big fan of sleep, and I think it's so important foundationally to our health. So if you're not sleeping, I feel like we've given you hopefully a lot of solutions to help you start to sleep through this 4-week series. And we'll be wrapping it up at the end of the month with a final giveaway. And we're just excited to share all this content with you guys. So thanks for jumping in live, and you guys have a fantastic day.